Cyber attacks using ransomware are increasing in frequency, and ransom payments are being made to the hackers are swelling as well. And with that, has increased the threat of hacks targeting cryptocurrency platforms and individuals. Hi, welcome to Crypto Doge News, where we publish the most up-to-date cryptocurrency news every single day. But before we go any further, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. Now let's get right into it. The FBI has recently issued a warning to cryptocurrency holders and exchange operators about the increased potential of hacking attacks aimed at platforms and individuals. The alert, which went out to the end of last week for cybersecurity professionals, has now been made public and suggests the FBI is wary of a heightened level of threat from technical support fraud, SIM swapping, and identity theft in order to take over users' accounts. Yes, you heard that right. That includes cryptocurrency owners, exchanges, and third-party payment platforms as well. However, this isn't the first time that cryptocurrency has been tied to cybercriminals. The anonymity built into the digital ledger system known as the blockchain, which forms the foundation of Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and other cryptocurrencies, has been exploited for a variety of purposes over the years, including ransomware. To put into perspective, a typical ransomware attack on the company or organization proceeds like this. Executives realize that their company's website or systems are down, and that administrators' overrides are ineffective. Then a ransom demand is sent by email, along with a Bitcoin address to which the payment must be sent if the company's services are to be restored. For instance, on May 7, 2021, a ransomware attack violated Kernel Pipeline, one of the most important oil pipeline companies in the United States. Kernel Pipeline operates one of the most critical pieces of infrastructure in the United States, a 5,500-mile-long pipeline system that runs between Texas and New York. This incident resulted in the interruption of its supply of gasoline, diesel, and other refined products for a section of around 8,850 kilometers. The damage inflicted by the cybercriminal ultimately led to the company paying a ransom of nearly $5 million in Bitcoin for the software decryption key required to unscramble their data network. But why feed the beast, you may ask? The majority of the time, a company pays a ransomware ransom because there is no faster alternative. If a company's data center is flooded, it has no other choice except to wait for IT to restore data and applications. However, with ransomware, there is a faster alternative waiting in the wings. Recovery from ransomware is only a Bitcoin transaction away, assuming there is an honor among thieves and the bad actor delivers the encryption codes when they receive the Bitcoin payment. Well, cryptocurrency exchanges are indeed a haven for criminal activities. However, considering exchange platforms are new to the finance sector, their lack of security knowledge makes them more appealing and vulnerable to hackers and other cybercriminals. And it wasn't long until Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies fell victim to their own democratic ideals. Now, as secure as crypto address is, the application of its technology is often fumbled, usually by unpracticed programmers looking to get in on the action and create faulty code. Fundamentally, the system is superior to centralized database systems. However, poor coding practices among its thousands of practitioners have created multiple vulnerabilities, and, like vultures to carry on, cybercriminals have flocked to exploit. In fact, according to Hacked, an estimated 10 to 20% of all Bitcoin in existence is held by criminals. Well, that is interesting. Cryptocurrency is hailed as the next big thing in money. However, let's not forget the hack in 2011 that showed just how insecure and easily stolen cryptocurrency could be. The hack of 2011 went like this. The attackers gained control of the user's local Windows computer after hacking into the user's slush pool account and stole 25,000 Bitcoin. The thief then sent the stolen coins to Mt. Gox, a Tokyo-based cryptocurrency exchange that went bankrupt in 2014 due to another long undetected cryptocurrency theft to liquidate its loot. However, the transactions could not be tracked for long because the only block explorer available at the time kept crashing. Even if at the time, the 25,000 Bitcoins were worth a small fortune of $480,000 today, their value stands at an astonishing $828 million. Soon after this, very first hack ever in cryptocurrency history became public. The cybercriminals started rushing in, looking to take advantage of the cheap, fast, permissionless, and anonymous nature of cryptocurrency exchange. Which they did. Over the last 9 years, millions of Bitcoin worth billions of dollars have been stolen, with some thefts being so major they drove people to suicide. According to the FBI, the attackers use several tactics to steal and launder cryptocurrency that include technical support fraud and SIM swapping. SIM swap attacks, in particular, are difficult to tackle because they are relatively easy to complete. The attacker just needs to get a hold of the telephone number of the potential victim. Then these attackers proceed in two different forms. The first one involves identity theft, with the attackers fooling tech reps into believing the affected person lost or damaged the SIM card. This prompts them to issue a new SIM card to the attacker. The other route involves insider contacts in a telephone carrier. The attacker uses this connection to obtain a new SIM card with the number of potential victim. This allows them to gain access from exchanges, even if there is some kind of multi-factor authentication defense in place. Indeed, some clever manipulators they are. However, this is not the first time that these incidents have come to light. In fact, the FBI has warned about those dangers before. There have also been a few high-profile SIM switching cases in the public eye as well. Michael Turpin, a blockchain investor, sued AT&T for $200 million in damages for negligence after suffering a SIM swap attack back in 2020. A judge ultimately dismissed the lawsuit, but it put SIM swapping in cryptocurrencies in the public eye. Furthermore, Europol thwarted a SIM swapping operation that had stolen more than 100 times its cryptocurrencies last February. Composed of nationals between the ages of 22 to 52 years old from Italy, Romania, Colombia, and Spain, this criminal gang struck over 100 times, stealing between 6,000 euros and 137,000 euros from bank accounts of unsuspecting victims per attack, Europol said. The criminals managed to obtain the online banking credentials from the victims of the different banks by means of hacking techniques, such as the use of banking trojans or other types of malware. Once they had these credentials, the suspects would apply for a duplicate of the SIM cards of the victims, providing fake documents to the mobile service providers. With these duplicates in their possession, they would receive directly to their phones, and second-factor authentication codes in the banks would send to confirm transfers. And once they had access to their victims' bank accounts, the suspects would then transfer money to mule accounts within a time frame of 2 hours so that their victims wouldn't be able to realize that something was wrong with their phones. Unfortunately, tracking cryptocurrency once it is transferred to the attacker-controlled crypto wallets is really difficult, thus making it harder for law enforcement agents to recover the stolen funds. For this very reason, the FBI is advising the financial organizations to be careful and check for mails coming from what could be spoofed email addresses, and also keep track and monitor any recently created accounts. The FBI also advises cryptocurrency holders to always use two-factor authentication and be aware of the information they share on social media. After all, better be safe than sorry, right? So, what are your thoughts on the FBI's latest warning on possible cryptocurrency attacks? Do you think we'll need to act quickly to create security measures that can keep up with technological achievements? Or do you think it's too late and that cybercriminals will eventually flood the market with such force that it will never go beyond the dark web? Share your answers in the comment section below. Until next time, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for all new updates coming up.